Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another episode of Minor League Cricket Live. We're in week 4. I'm Owen Patel, and we're so happy to be back here with you. Nate Hayes, we're halfway through this season, and it only feels like we just started, but so much has happened. This has been such a great year of minor league cricket.
Yeah, we've got some positions sealed up, some Super 8s positions sealed up. But yeah, it was a great weekend last weekend. Let's hope we have another one coming up where there are a few games that still matter. And then we got the Super 8s.
Yeah, I mean, things are getting really down to the wire, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in every single Wednesday. Feel free to leave chats down there in the comments section. But speaking of this minor league cricket season, you mentioned already that the slots for these playoffs have already started to fill up. Let's just go straight into this, because let's start in the Southern Division. Because in that Southern Division, it's completely full. We know who our two playoff teams are going to be. It's going to be the Baltimore Royals alongside the Morsel Raptors, because they experienced rain, or in a rain out basically, of their two games. So they're in the Southern Division, Nate.
Yeah, they have had so much rain here, and they might have made up some of these games, but there's just no end in sight to the rain. Over the last couple weeks, we've had just so much of it. There's no way to squeeze in any makeup games, and we've got the Super 8s looming.
Yeah, there was just really no way. It rained pretty viciously yesterday here in Morrisville, North Carolina. We're always disappointed to not have games at Church Street Park, but you see it there. Baltimore, Morsel, they're moving on. Atlanta Fire will miss out alongside the Lightning. First time we're not going to see the Fire in the playoffs, Nate.
That's right. This is kind of a surprise to a lot of folks. We're used to seeing one or both Atlanta teams.
Yeah, 100%. Well, speaking of seeing one or both Atlanta teams, we got to see them in full flow this weekend. Let's start off with Friday down in Button Veers, because it wasn't popping in North Carolina, but Button Veers Sports Complex, that was the place to be. The Atlanta Fire needed to find wins and runs, and did both thanks to opener Steven Taylor, who blasted his way to an incredible 103 off just 59 deliveries, thanks to excellent shots like those on your screen. And thanks to his innings, the Fire finished with a score of 221. Akeem Dodson and Romario King got the things going with the Orlando Galaxy with early runs and quick boundaries. But then it was Muhammad Uddin who got LBW right here on Romario King, and then from there, Captain Emilio Ponzo not only took Parth Patel right there, but also took Akeem Dodson, sweeping across him. After a well-made 41 off 27 from Shoaib Syed, who kept things respectable and really showed off in this game, it was a sure-handed 76-run win for the Atlanta Fire. Speaking of the other Atlanta team, the Atlanta Lightning, it was another Florida v. Georgia matchup later in the day where the Lightning took on the Fort Lauderdale Lions. They chose to bat first, and 53 from 36 from Mario Rampersad, thanks to great shots, and 37 from 36 from Clinton Prestano to finish with 118. The Lightning started steadily with the bat. Adam Khan took wickets, but Sunny Patel's 50 got the game in the favor of the Atlanta Lightning. Well, that's what you have in that game there, Nate. We didn't get to see the highlights for that one, but Adam Khan, 3 wickets in that game, but it took the leg-spinning captain Sunny Patel to bat on and score 50. He's been a real bright spot for the Lightning this season.
Yeah, no doubt. And you mentioned Adam Khan. He has been fantastic in the weekends where his team has played. He took a bunch of wickets here in Morrisville a few weeks ago. He's always in the running for that emerging player this season. It's great to see new players put their hands up.
Yeah, we've called out his names a couple of times for that award. Haven't given it to him yet. We'll see if that changes later on this week. Stay tuned for that. But let's move on to Saturday and what those games had to bring, because that first game on Saturday was a rematch. This time it was Orlando Galaxy, however, batting first. And after each of the opening batters, Akeem Dodson and Romario King scored 26 apiece. Well, it was all fire from there on in. Corne Dry and Akshdev, they picked up 2 wickets between the two of them. And then Zia Shahzad chimed in too. Look at the wickets tumbling on your screen. Zia Shahzad also picked up 3 wickets with an economy of 4.25. That's one of them that you're seeing flied out into the deep. Pretty consistent theme throughout the day. Then Rajdeep Darbar got the Fire off to a hot start with 5 boundaries in the first over, but Sumit Sarawat does what no one could do yesterday. It was Steven Taylor who goes first ball. But from there, it was relatively smooth sailing with Rajdeep Darbar continuing to score 43 off 15. Shoaib Syed picked up 3 wickets at an economy of 2.75. That one on your screen as well. But it was the Fire that would pick up their second win of the weekend. Again, really dominating stuff from the Fire, trying to make that last push, see if they can push any of those two teams at the top. Couldn't do it. Moving into the second match, Fort Lauderdale and at Lightning. Once again, the Lions batted first, and this time it finally clicked for the opening skipper, Dajnarine Chanderpaul, who finished with 77 off of 54, thanks to brilliant shots around the ground. And then Isaiah Raja cashed in as well, with 44 of his own to get the Lions to 181. In the second innings, the Lightning electrified early, thanks to Prashad Murthy, who hit incredible boundaries, alongside Aaron Chenchu, who had a beautiful flick shot. I'd love to see it. But Isaiah Raja, he did what he did at Church Street Park, taking 2 wickets in the 8th over, getting both of the openers. First, he gets Murthy skied out into the deep, and then gets Chenchu caught at short third. From there, wickets continued to tumble thanks to 2 Kevin Stout wickets alongside Elton Tucker Jr. and add 3 more for the youngster Adam Khan as the Lions win by 57 runs. Well, that's your Saturday action there, Nate. 57 runs is what separated the Lions and the Atlanta Lightning. And Adam Khan delivering that first win for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. You just wish they kind of picked that up sooner in the season.
Right, they have some good youngsters on this team, and both of them came through in this game. But yeah, you wish that they have the ability to beat anybody in the South, if you ask me. If you look at the roster top to bottom, they have the roles that you need to win. Unfortunately for them, they weren't able to put it together to the tune of a playoff appearance, but they knocked on the door last year. This year, they just couldn't quite do that.
Yeah, couldn't quite do it, and again, you mentioned the young pieces that are there. You still have Dajnarine Chanderpaul. Isaiah Raja is a great all-rounder for them. Adam Khan's good. Elton Tucker Jr. got in this game, took wickets. It just felt that there was an opportunity in certain games to maybe take some intent, and obviously you get off on the wrong foot starting 0-3 and a couple of close matches early on. Don't go your way in this short season. Really not enough time to get back, but it just feels a mindset shift could be with the difference in this team next season.
Yeah, and it's difficult this time of year in the South too, when you get a lot of washouts.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of chances to practice.
Right.
You don't have a lot of chances for the team to gel together. So I think that might play into that.
Yeah, 100%. Let's move on to Sunday's matchup because the Fort Lauderdale Lions were back in action, this time against the Atlanta Fire, where Stephen Taylor picked off where he left off on Friday, just 2 innings earlier, notching his second century of the weekend, this time a 61 ball, 112. His partner Rajdeep Darbar made it happen at the other end with 66 from 32, along with Mohammad Uddin's 32 off 18 to finish the Fire's day with a ridiculous 236 for 4. That was a great stop from
Awesome,
Adam Khan,
I love
though.
that.
In the second innings, however, it was a different day for the lefty Chanderpaul. He was bowled first up by Uddin, and then 3 bats just together topped off with the half century from Kevin Stout, kept things respectable. But from there, the Fire bowlers got into the act. 2 for Corne Dry and Zia Shazad, including this brilliant boundary catch from Paul Palmer, diving back in as the Fire closed their season with a win. Moving on to Orlando versus Atlanta Lightning. It was Orlando looking for their first win against the Atlanta Lightning, and Romario King topped the scores with 35 runs. But after that, it was business as usual for the Lightning bowlers, with Funny Samhadri taking 3 wickets alongside Soeb Tai's 3 wickets, as the Galaxy, well, they can only manage to finish with 115 thanks to incredible bowling. In the second innings, it was more Prasad Murthy who managed to find runs with 62 off 36, while Manav Patel, he did find 3 wickets. It was the Lightning who made quick work of the chase, winning by 5 wickets. This was brilliant. Prasad Murthy was great all throughout, and you could see the shots flowing off the bat of the Lightning. I was just super impressed with what I saw from the Atlanta Lightning. The Orlando Galaxy, of course, looking for that first win of this season, unable to find it. So yet another disappointing season, you'd say, for them. Talk to me about what you think Orlando needs to do looking to next season.
Well, they do have some good younger players on the team. They're a close group, it seems. Every time I've talked to them, they're a fun group to be around.
Yeah,
I love
100%.
when they visit. I like talking to them. I think they get a little bit better every single year. You know, they could use an injection of some of these MLC level players in the mix,
Right.
to allow the role players to be role players.
Sure.
On that team, I think you get 2 or 3 guys of the top 100 players in the country on that team, probably top 70 players in the country. 2 or 3 of them, I think that it's going to help them a lot.
Yeah, and speaking of those guys, the Atlanta Fire and Atlanta Lightning both don't make the playoffs this season. The Fire just felt they needed to get off to a little bit quicker of a start, kind of undone by that rain, not having Stephen Taylor early. And then for the Atlanta Lightning, again, they didn't get off on the right foot. They were close in that matter. Which one of those two teams are you more worried about looking into 2025?
Well, with the Fire, obviously, I think if you get Stephen Taylor, after this weekend, how can you not think of that? Like two centuries, that's phenomenal from him. But I'm a little bit more worried about, I think, the Lightning right now. I think, but both of these teams are very good. Both of them have a lot of pieces. I think they're just a little bit, they're just a piece or two away.
Yeah, again, I think for the Lightning, having Sonny Patel in the middle, Sobtai was great. Funny Samhadri is Funny Samhadri. So you got good pieces to build around. Prasad Murthy was a real life for them alongside Mark Parchment. Obviously, Aaron Chenchu is a good young player. And then if Unluk Chan stays in that team for the season, it gives you just another bat. And I think that's what they were missing, just more consistency with the bat. I think the Fire, for me, they need to add to that batting depth. I saw Zia Shahzad come in at number 5 one too many times. Emil Alponzo's in at number 7. Very unlike Fire teams in the past. I think for them, the next big step is, okay, how do we, we have great spinners, you have good bowlers, but how can we add some bats and keep the balance of this team and make it so Zia Shahzad comes in at 7, where he's more of the finisher, versus 5, where he has to kind of hold innings together.
Yeah, you said it. Atlanta Fire knows how to win.
Yep.
They know how to build a team. This season, they were lacking that depth, and I think that's all there is to it.
Yeah, well, there you go. The South is all wrapped up. The Baltimore Royals will take on the Marshall Raptors. We will have games this coming weekend in the South, but no playoff implications on the line. But still check it out. It should be a good time. But there are some playoff slots available. Some in the East. Nate, tell us what happened. Look at this table real first. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, the defending Atlantic champions, they've punched their ticket. They're through.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they would have to do some unbelievable. They'd have to have basically a couple of forfeits to not make it through with that net run rate that they have of 2.8547. New Jersey's 1.1331. They're ahead about a half a run over the Philadelphians, more than a half a run over the Philadelphians. But here's the trick. We've got a couple of games coming up between New Jersey Stallions and the Cavaliers. The Philadelphians season is finished. They've played 8. The Cavaliers and the Stallions have 2 games coming up. And if the Cavaliers beat the Stallions by the average margin of victory for the Cavaliers, then the Philadelphians will advance.
Okay.
If the Stallions lose by their average margin of victory, they've only lost 1. But if they lose by how they lost the only game, then they're going through and Philadelphians on the outside looking in.
There you go.
I think that this is still a very interesting thing. A lot of people think it's the Cavs and the Stallions, but if the Cavaliers sweep the Stallions by a decent amount each time, the Philadelphians will go through.
Well, there you go. That's an interesting question. That is, who gets through? And net run rate, we told you was going to be a big proponent in this. We're already seeing it right here. Again, the Somerset Cavaliers would have to do something that happened. It did happen to them last season. They did have a forfeit. So wouldn't rule it out of the world of possibilities, but they're most likely through. Let's talk about how this all unfolded, though, this weekend. Nate, take us through on Friday.
Well, let's get kicked off with the East on Friday with the young Manhattan Yorkers challenging the Philadelphians. This is practically a must-win for Philly, as Pranav Chettipanaliam got things going for Manhattan here with a 6 off of Prashad in the 4th, and then Manhattan cruising in the 5th. Jonathan Fu did what Jonathan Fu does and bowled Dinesh Patel. 38 for 1 in the power play. Abdul Jabbar, in the midst of a career season, shows why. And then you've got Pranav unfazed, bravely taking on Fu. And the 2 slips with the reverse sweep and then that shot. And then you have Deep Patel bowled by Fu in the 12th. And this is where we find out what the Yorkers are made of. 4 overs and 37 runs later. Pranav is still going strong. He's just had such a great innings there. Look at that.
Fantastic.
And then here you go. In the chase, Philly need to chase the 164 to make it to the playoffs here. And there you go. There's the early wickets there of the openers. Oh, that's a good one right there. Javen Thomas in the 5th. Fu. Ooh, look at this wonderful catch right there.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. And then Jonathan Fu, he takes Bachu Yard in the 8th, and the run rate isn't a problem now for Philly. Fu strikes again on the next ball. Look at that. Look at this. Boom. There's a fancy car about to drive by. Right there. Bam. Right there. Philly score 18 on the over, but into the 11th after 2 slow overs, Raj Bhavsar strikes. Fu was surprised by the call. Philly are 88 for 4. Bhaskar Yadram has been a not-so-secret sauce all season. He moves into second gear in the 17th. Philly still need 43. Arya Garg Strikes. Look at this guy. He is the future here, I think.
Yeah.
He is absolutely fantastic. Taking a couple of wickets. 18 needed from 6th. Yadrim scores a 4 right here. And then another off of Acharya. And it looks like it's going to be good for them. And then they need 8 off of the last 2. And Yadrim skies out and the threat is over. Manhattan have another signature win behind them.
How about that, Nate? The Manhattan Yorkers have just found ways to win, haven't they?
Absolutely, and the very next game, you got the Yorkers facing the Titans. Or sorry, that's the next day
that's
on
on
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
But yeah, those Yorkers, that Yorkers team, they've surprised people. They're a very good young team. They've got great young players. Arya Garg, man, I'm so excited about this guy.
I mean, people have been raving about him for years. I think the way we have been raving about Utkarsh Srivastava here locally, more so North Carolina, that's the way the folks out in the Northeast talk about Arya Garg and just what he can bring as a left-arm seamer. And I look at that Yorkers team, and again, as a young team, it can be very easy to ride the ups and downs, and that team stayed pretty level-headed throughout. It takes a lot to defend, especially when the 4 gets hit off that first ball.
Right.
Bhaskar Yadrim's in the middle. What chance do you have as a young unit when you held your nerve and did it well? I think Pranav Chattopadhyay's innings was unbelievable. In terms of, I think there's going to be higher scores and probably higher strike rates, but in higher pressure situations, bigger moments.
Against a good team.
Against a very good team. Again, their playoff implications are gone.
Yeah.
But
theirs are, but Phillies are.
Exactly.
We're still very much alive.
And Philly's a very good
team. There's a tiny little chance Philly can make it.
Right.
Because of Pranav, because of Pranav's innings, because of Arya Garg.
Yeah.
And I think the next step for them is, can you string things together?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know you can beat anybody right now. That's got to feel really good. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and along with surprising some teams.
Sure. Yeah, I think for them, the next stage of their development as a young core is, okay, we know we can beat anybody, and that's going to do the confidence a world of good headed into 2025 when you get more Yasir Muhammad in the mix as well. Now, all right, how do we find more consistent ways to win? So I'm excited for the future of that team. They've got a lot of future players that the USA are going to be interested in. Obviously, Yasir's there, Arya Garg, Pranav Chattopadhyay, Dhruv Barwar's a good left arm, orthodox spinner. So plenty of talent on that team.
Team is. I mean, everybody's kind of had their moment this season with that Yorkers team. It's been it's excellent. It's great to see a team invest in the youth on the East.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see that. Speaking of the East, continue with it. What happened on Saturday?
Well, Saturday we saw the same Yorkers facing the NYC Titans, and Viral Parekh strikes early for Manhattan. Or here we go. For the Titans. Pranav out for a duck. Dinesh Patel falls in the 4th thanks to that amazing catch from Pillai. Mario Laban, though, has flashes of brilliance all season, and he bowls Sid Kappa for 3. And then Laban still has 3 overs, and Ishan Sharma is caught for 4. In the 8th, Ryan Shaw gets in the mix, bowling Preet Shah with his 5th ball. Yorkers now reeling. Sean, well, he hates those stumps, let me tell you. Laban still has 2 overs, and he gets a leading edge straight back to the keeper to retire Parwar for 9. And Manoj Acharya, he loves to try to go big. He can't clear Laban, who has a caught and bowled wicket. He's gotten all these wickets in very simple ways. Manhattan's all out for 100. In the chase, Alex Algu gets the Titans off on the right foot, just too long and destructive for Ishan Sharma. In the 10th, Pawar returns the favor to Ryan Shun, bowling him for 21. Manhattan need wickets in the 13th over, and Ishan Sharma gets the last laugh against Algu, who skies for a can of corn for 31 from 35. And Parwar makes an awesome catch on Shashank Krishnamurthy. Look at this. Boom. Oh, in the 16th right there. 100 isn't enough to defend, though, and the Titans take their sweet time, winning by 6 wickets with 10 balls in hand. Cavaliers in New England next up. A measured start of 27 runs from the Cavaliers in the first 4 overs. That just proved to be first year, as Chandrapal Hamraj goes big right there. That's what he does well. He scores to all grounds. And Maheshram strikes on the first ball after the power play, bowling Ali Imran for 13, but he was just support for Chandrapal, it turns out, as Chandrapal, the lefty, just continues to dismantle East bowling, just pulling everything, hitting things to the offside. He's just absolutely destructive. Look at that shot. Beautiful. Right through the gap. Excellent right there.
Yeah, it was a treat to watch him play. The use of the wrist was great. His hands were just terrific through the ball.
And he's picking apart. He loves to go to the offside. and when he gets the chance to. And right there, look at that. He just makes sure he stays on top of the ball, and he just guides it into the gap, and boom, right over cover, past the boundary fielder, right there. And then this is my favorite one. This brings up the century right here. Look at that. He just opens the face of his bat, guides it to the gap. You got to love getting a big hug there from Gajanan Singh. Who doesn't want that to happen? And then we get a little bit of Chanderpaul's finally bowled out, but it's way too late right here. A graceful power play. No, wait a second. 17th. Yeah. So there we go. The Eagles would start the chase with a bang. Usman Ashraf took advantage of the field restrictions, and he smashes Ghazi for 4 and a 6. And then Ghazi would claim his partner, maybe a little bored from only facing 3 balls so far. And then Usman Ashraf said, I can bat like Kamraj too, opening his face, scoring 4 right there. Raj Desai's brilliant 10th would keep Ashraf from scoring his 50 right there. Desai wasn't done. Look at that. I love this guy's action, man. He's blessing us with a unique action right here. He just keeps taking wickets. That's his 3rd one right there. And then Nazar follows Desai. Look at this. This is a ridiculous span of time where these 2 bowlers just destroyed the New England Eagles. They just, look at that. Each of them took wickets. There were 3 overs of 1 run and 1 maiden in this mix. There's the 2nd wicket of the over there for Nazar. They combined, Gajanan Singh, he ends it right, he hasn't ended there. There's Desai. He's not finished. He bowls Syed for his 4th wicket. Look at the young man. He's happy for himself. I'd be too. And then Gaj Singh ends it for the Cavaliers as they win easily by 62 runs. That session was ridiculous from Nazar and Desai. It was just brutal. Like for that 6-run span, they combined for 3 1-run overs, as I said, plus a maiden, plus 7 wickets from overs 10 through 16 for that spin pair. Plus we saw that really awesome, unique action. It looks like a frog.
I love the way the right foot collapses as he releases.
It doesn't make any sense.
And he has a slow way back up. It's not like a pop back up. It's a slow rise back up. So I love seeing that. A great work from the Somerset Cavaliers. Again, their batting has never been the question about this team, right? You knew they could bat. It was just, how does that bowling continue to pick up? You lose Yasser Mohammed. It's a big loss. You lose Sunny Patel. Those are 2 prime leg spinners. How do you replace them? We get guys like Viraj to come in and take wickets in that manner. So they're finding ways to bowl and take wickets. That's huge for them headed into the playoffs.
Yeah, they're just a very, very good team. They're just a very deep team, and I love this dude's action too. I'm trying to figure out what to call it. It's
we'll find a name for it come here on week 5. I got to ask you though, for the New England Eagles, that was not the way you kind of wanted your season to end there. But what is it for them to take another step forward? They have some good pieces. Noman Iftihar's there. Apurva Maheshwaram is there. How do they take the next step and become a real contender in this division?
I mean, I think it all comes down to, what is it called? Joes are bigger than X's and O's. It's all about getting the more play.
I've never heard that phrase before, but there you go. For those of you who don't understand it, it's guys are more important than some of the schemes.
Yes, I think you have to. In the East, it's a very difficult division. There's a lot of good talent in the East, and I just think you've got some good pieces. Just keep building the team, and invest in youth like we're seeing with the Yorkers.
Yeah.
But the Yorkers, it's unbelievable. There are 2 teams in this league that only have 1 win, and it's against the Yorkers, and the Yorkers meanwhile are beating good teams.
Right.
So it's wild.
That's ridiculous. Well, tell us about the Joes and the X's and O's that happened on Sunday, Nate, out there in the East.
All right, Sunday saw 2 more games, starting with New England versus Manhattan. Yash Kangura, he's going to take a really good catch right here, and it's going to knock the wind out of him, I think, or something, because he lays there for a while. Usman Ashraf is gone in the 12th over. Maheshwaram would change gears in the 13th versus Roy with a nice wristy 4 right there. Deep Patel's quick throw right here. Watch this. He's going to throw it in real quick as soon as he gets it. Boom. Gets Maheshwaram trying to steal 2 in the 15th, a product of some run rate pressure maybe. Arya Garg would get a late wicket again. The youngster keeps showing up all the time, forcing Parak to sky one. But another run out right here would cost Amit Patel. Watch, he fumbles it, and there's some miscommunication, and it's too late. You're out. And the fella just came in too. Garg would seal it with 2 wickets to set the target at 129. First this one, and look at this. Boom. Yeah, you love to see those stumps
That
rattle.
perfect Yorker, yeah.
Yeah, he's so good, man. Excellent stuff. It's Purva Maheshram here to start the chase against the Dinesh Patel. Very nice ball right there.
How much
Excellent.
was he getting the ball to spin? I saw a couple of things that are just turning square.
Yeah, and then Pranav is stumped. So Pranav's great day on Friday didn't translate. Maheshram would strike again. This time Sid Kappa caught and bowled. The Yorkers are in serious trouble. 16 for 3 after 6. That's awful. But Raj Bhavsar and Deep Patel would right the ship a little bit until the 9th, when Bhavsar would try to wrist a wide delivery to leg side caught at fine leg. So Norman Iftikhar would take advantage of Manoj Acharya's aggression. He caught. And Yash Kangora would score a quick 20, including that shot 6 right there. But Iftikhar would have him LBW with the very next ball. Iftikhar would bowl Parwar 2 overs later, and Deep Patel was running out of partners. Patel gets Roy here for the 9th wicket, before Deep Patel finally skies out to Syed to end the game 120 for 9. Great recovery for the Yorkers, but they fall to the Eagles. The Stallions would have a catastrophic, there you go, right there. Good recovery, but they couldn't get it done. They could not get it done. It's tough to come back from 16 for 3 after
Yeah.
6. The Stallions would have a catastrophic start to their innings, as Dom Riki goes to Deveshwari Prasad and Aman Patel would fall to Surapam Islam. Stallions would drag at 9 for 2 through 4 overs. The power play would eventually end 30 for 2, and Aroda Manuel turned on the gas. He helps the Stallions recover with a nice shot there before Prasad would get the 2nd wicket of Ray Remrat and LBW. Abdul-Jabbar having a tremendous season right there. Sid Matani. And then you have Fu is going to take a couple of wickets on of his own, like he likes to do with Patel and Reza. LBW right there. That's cup check right there. Boom. And then you've got Islam strikes again in the 19th with a nice catch in the deep, running in. Arjun Vijala wants runs right here. Philly want to stop him. And here's probably the best throw, my favorite throw. Boom. Right, boink, right there. We love to see the aggressive running, but that one was no good. There you go. And that's the end of the innings right here at 125. All out with a few balls on the table right there. Excellent first innings there if you were a Philadelphians fan. In the chase, Stephen Wigg knows the value of early wickets, and they're happy to take out Christopher Bantul. Ryan Scott shows why he's one of the most prolific scorers in minor league history here, pulling that one. And then again for 6 against Sid Matani. Boom. But Stephen Wigg strikes again in the 3rd, his 2nd winning wicket of the inning. Scott is gone for 20. And that is a good way to get the Philadelphians out, getting Scott out of the middle. Ray Ramerton gets the surest hands in the league, probably. Javen Thomas finds that out. Reza goes under Balaji to bowl him. But Bhaskar Yadram and Jonathan Fu put Philly on their back once again, and Philly goes from 36 for 4 to a lot more. And then you you see Bhaskar Yadram and Jonathan Fu just taking this thing over. Boom. Late wicket of Yadram is just kind of like, it's just a little...
Game felt like it was kind of just reeling at that point. New Jersey felt on top of that match there.
Right. It couldn't stop, although late wickets could not stop the Philadelphians. Their fans are happy about it. They've got great fans out there. So the Philadelphians end the weekend on a positive note, even though their season could be over. Right now they currently sit in 3rd place, but they'll be cheering for the Cavaliers big time.
Yeah, and they did what they had to do, right? You had to beat the Stallions there. If you didn't beat the Stallions, well, then things could, then it wouldn't matter what happened this weekend. So they control what they can control. I like Philly as a unit. For the Stallions, you can tell they're missing a guy like Saiteja Mukamala.
Right.
I think the leadership of Jesse Singh is a big thing that goes undervalued in minor league cricket. But I'm interested to see how they end up performing against the Somerset Cavaliers, because that has the potential to be one of your Super Sixes matchups. So very excited about that. I'm curious to see what it all brings. But there you go. That's the Eastern Division, and there still is a playoff spot up for grabs. Not really 2 playoff spots, but you can say if you want to, technically we have 2 playoff spots up for grabs.
Yeah, it could, and it could happen, I guess.
It could happen. Well, speaking of the places with playoff spots up for grabs, the Central, they do have playoff spots up for grabs. Let's take a look at that division right now. You'll see at the top, there's no surprise at who sits up top. It's the Chicago Kingsmen that rule this division. They are the number one team in it. They are the team that is going to be locked into the playoffs just because of how good their net run rate is. But that number 2 spot, that's where things get interesting, Nate. The Exploria Giants currently sit there, but the St. Louis Americans have the same number of points. The St. Louis Americans have no more games left. So they are looking at the result for the Exploria Giants that is yet to come up this coming weekend. They need the Exploria Giants to lose and lose by a big margin for them to overtake them on net run rate.
Yeah, that's a big ask. It almost looks like it's decided here in the Central. I don't want to say that because, we love drama. But that is a big ask. To drop basically almost an entire run, or basically 8/10 of a run in net run rate. It's a big ask.
Yeah, it would be tough for that to happen, but the Chicago Kingsmen are going to be taking on the Exploria Giants this upcoming weekend, and then they'll take on the Lone Star Athletics again. So you're hoping that the Kingsmen can get if you're a St. Louis fan, you're hoping that the Kingsmen can get the Exploria Giants by a big margin and keep yourself in the running. How do we get to this scenario, though? Let's take a look at the Central. We'll open things up on Friday, where the Chicago Derby did not disappoint any fans of the Central. Kazeel Huck did what he did best, taking early wickets, but yet again, Dylan Savage rescued the innings to keep the Tigers where they were and get them to 152. For the Chicago Kingsmen, well, it was just quick work from Faraz Ali's 66 off 45, and then Saad Ali's 50 off 32 to win by 9 wickets. Moving into St. Louis now, you see there 157 thanks to 43 from Jamin Anwar, and then 38 from Ritik Behera after a questionable LBW decision. Doesn't allow the Michigan Cricket Stars to capitalize. They lose because of Elias's 3 wickets. Then for the Hurricanes and the Exploria Giants, you'll see it was a lone effort with the bat thanks to Lahiro Malanta, who was finding runs all over the park with excellent stroke play, moving himself to 38 off of 21. But it was back-to-back Golden Ducks bowled by Chaitanya Bishnoi, coupled with a 5-wicket haul from Shubham Ranjane. There's one of them skied up into the air. You're going to see all 5 in a second here. 1 through to the keeper. How about 2 through to the keeper? How about a third one? It's going to get you in the LBW. That was number 4. And this is wicket number 5. Don't focus on the man at deep point. It happened to short third is where that catch ended up getting taken. But it was Rahman Dar who continued the incredible ball striking. 57 off 53. 38 for Akarshat Gomal. Jumping straight into the final over, though, that was where things got really interesting. You see Akarshat Gomal there. This is the final over. 13 needed, and Hamza Khalid bowling to Harsh Kakani managed to find 3 boundaries with 2 sixes to finish this match off in style. Nate, 13 from the last, and then boom, 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 ball game in style. Brilliant way to close out Grand Prairie under the lights. I think that might have been the most electric atmosphere we had all weekend.
Man, I can't wait to go there.
I mean, for those of you who haven't been there, get out there because, again, you're seeing the replays of these terrific shots being played all around the ground. But, I mean, it was just unbelievable. There's fans there.
Yeah,
This is a
That's
Friday
excellent.
game under the lights, and it's only going to get more and more packed.
We'd be there. For
We'd
sure.
100%. We're at Church Street Park whenever you want us to be at Church Street Park.
Basically,
so
yeah.
we're going to Grand Prairie anytime we can. But again, this was St. Louis. They get that nervy victory. They keep themselves in play. But the Kingsmen, they haven't folded at all. They're finding wins. The Exploria Giants are finding wins, and they're finding wins without Harmeet Singh, Nate.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And without Andres Kraus. Andres Kraus is on that roster.
Yeah. But I mean, they're just very good team, a very good deep team. But it's fun to have those kind of close games like that. But yeah, that just excites me so much for the Super 8, that video.
100%. Well, let's go into Saturday now, where the Chicago Tigers are back in action against the St. Louis Americans, and it was a Mitesh Nintayanam topped the scores with 47 off 39. But it was a cascade of wickets that saved the day if you're a St. Louis Americans fan. You see a couple of these brilliant shots played around the ground. But there's wicket number 1, and it was just wickets continue to fall. Nasir Jameli, Zakil, Ujjwal Vinakota, and Abhimanyu Lumba all picked up 2 wickets apiece as the Tigers fall with just 100 runs to their name. There's that final wicket. Mohit Patel got things going early with a wicket alongside wickets from Vinit Saha, Calvin Savage, and Deepshan Pinakaha, who all took wickets, but Munir Kaka steadied the ship with 47 off 32 of his own. And well, the Americans, they ended up winning by 4 wickets. because of what they were able to do with the bat in hand. Brilliant stuff from them. Moving now to the Houston Hurricanes and the Exploria Giants. The Hurricanes batted first. Lehino Malanta found runs early, 27 off 15. Able to go behind him in front of square. He's just quite brilliant. And then alongside Joshua Tromps, 33 off 29 to take Houston to 124. The Giants finish it off in just 17 overs thanks to solid innings from Gaurav Bajaj, 22 off 21, Agrishit Gomos, 23 from 25, and Naushad Sheikh's 30 off of 20. Well, we still have one more game to go. Chicago Kingsmen were taking on the Michigan Cricket Stars later in the day. Let's take a look at what happened here. The Chicago Kingsmen chose to bat first, but lost 2 early wickets in the form of Ramiz Raja there, and then lost Saad Ali. Had slipped, beautiful catch low to the ground. However, a terrific partnership between Faraz Ali, who finished with 86 off 57, and Tajinder Singh, 55 off 36. Just really carried it. I mean, look at the stroke play around the ground, the power that was displayed, and thanks to some late fireworks from Asif Mahmood, they were able to get to 178. The opening partnership for the Cricket Stars was going strong, 30 runs for Tana Fwasi, but Abhimanyu Poswal took 2 of his 3 wickets to break through in the form of Wasi and then in the form of Ritvik Behera. Captain Nikhil Kanchan scored 30 off of 20 before being run out, and thanks to 3 more wickets from Hamad Azam, the Cricket Stars only finished with 130, Nate. So the Kingsmen, they just continue to make things happen. They just find ways to win games. They have so much depth. This team seems to be quote-unquote your Dallas Mustangs of last season. Just so much talent in that group.
Yeah, the depth of it, that's the biggest thing. The best teams are relentless. No matter how many wickets you take of theirs, you still need another one. Yeah. And we've seen the same sort of thing in the East with New Jersey, Somerset Cavaliers. We see it in the West with believe it or not, Seattle seems to have that same kind of mindset. You just can't get enough of them out until you get them all.
Yeah, 100%. And there were no games on Sunday. All of those were abandoned, the 2 matches then. So, again, that's how we got to where we are. Now it's the St. Louis Americans needing the Chicago Kingsmen to beat the Exploria Giants by a huge margin, so hoping for plenty of runs and plenty of wickets from Zio Luck to start things off, and that's the way the St. Louis Americans could qualify. And if they did qualify, Nate, that's the surprise story of the season for me.
It would be crazy. It would at this point.
Yeah.
The crazy thing would not be the St. Louis Americans are good enough, because if you look at it, 2 of the top 5 batters are from the St. Louis Americans. In fact, the crazy thing in the Central to me this season is in the top 6 batters, none of them are from Texas.
Right.
None of them.
None of them.
It's Michigan, it's St. Louis, it's Chicago teams.
Yep.
And that's shocking to me.
Yeah, you don't see that happen. This has been a division ruled by Texas, and again, if Chicago can put on a good enough beatdown of Exploria, we'd have a first time in the Central where you don't see any team from the Texas area.
It would be something.
It'd be something else. Well, speaking of things to happen in the Central, there are still things to play for out in the West, but not really. The playoff spots are all gone. Let's take a look at those standings. Bring them on your screen now. The East Bay Blazers, probably the favorites to start the season, up top, and Seattle has qualified with them. Nate, talk to me about this division.
Well, we saw a lot of excitement last weekend. Things were up in the air. They're not so much up in the air anymore. We've got Seattle and East Bay clinched completely.
Yeah, well, Seattle and East Bay, they've clinched out. Silicon finishes in 3rd. Really the first time I don't remember seeing Silicon, to really move on. This is a team that's always been in there. Golden State's always been in there. So it's kind of a shift in the division, but Seattle's back amongst the mix. So good to see that. Nate, take us through what happened. There are a lot of games this weekend out west. There always seems to be. Take us through Friday.
Definitely. Everything got kicked off on Friday with the Seattle Thunderbolts against the San Diego Surf Riders. And Seattle's slow and careful to start until Fernando strikes in the 5th. And then I love that view right there. Shashank caught. Guyan finishes his quota with 2 wickets. A.B. Reddy, already with a tidy over behind him, gets the key wicket in the 11th with Clinton. And Reddy's 4th over sees Nayak accelerate a bit. Though Chineni would fall in the last ball, plenty of wickets in hand. Rishabh Mohan, we love Rishabh. he knows Seattle's MO, you got to go big. Shivam Sharma does what he does best, and that's finish the innings, and Seattle score 35 in their final 2 overs to finish 143 for 5. But Shivam Sharma picks off where he left off in the first inning, bowling Eddie B. Reddy. Umar Akmal opens up his account right here. Man, that ball gets to the boundary in a hurry when he's batting, I tell you what. Ruvindu takes out Nayak deep for 6 runs right there. Miscommunication later in the over. Akmal gets Ruvindu, he kind of heads off, but Ruvindu takes off and can't get back, and he's out. Shivam Sharma gets Skanda. Rohit Sharma caught, one of my favorite names. Atif Adewala bowls Mohammad Faisal right there. Nice ball. And you have a 6 right here from Jaideep Reddy, one of the leaders of this team in San Diego. But Cincy Seagerts and company shut the door. Look at that. Run out by the keeper right there. And then here we go. This is it. This is the game right here. And Seattle win by 6 runs. It was a really good game, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, Shivam Sharma, 23 from 6 deliveries?
Yep.
Unbelievable.
And then here's a rematch. Ruben Clinton, he's caught right away for a duck. Guy Fernando, he's so good at the top right there. Chauhan hits a 4 versus Reddy here in the 4th over. And then Kohli is caught for 18 from 14. The score is 34 from 2 after 6. Reddy strikes again. Chauhan lines right out, and in the same over, Reddy once more. Caught a gully there. Rishabh, right here, he's caught behind by Akmal, and then Sharma is going to blast off right here. Naik and Sharma recover the innings a little bit, and Sharma goes off here against AB for 6 more runs. Sharma would finish not out 49 from 27. Sujit Nayak scores 84 from 46, and he ends it with a huge 6 right here. Seattle go from 59 for 5 in the 10th to 181 for 5 at the end of the 1st. That's an amazing recovery. In the 2nd inning, Cincy Seagerts gets AB caught and bowled right there. Sharma has another early wicket right here of Ravindu, caught at square leg. Skanda, Rohit Sharma, nice 4 here in the 10th. Is their hope right now? Is there hope for San Diego? They are 72 for 2. And then Akmal, look at that classy cut shot. He places this ball perfectly. Akmal, he's going to be bowled by Nayak through the gate, 97 for 3 in the 12th. And then in the 16th, Abhinder Singh, boom. Look at that. All right, in the 19th, Skanda already with half a century, he's stumped, and Atif Adewala shuts the door, and he bowls Reddy. San Diego lose by 20. And that's tough for San Diego because they really wanted to win it, especially one of those 2 games. We had to beat the team that's ahead of you. They really needed to win both of those games. They were supposed to play them up in Seattle, but they had to relocate down to Los Angeles due to the impending weather. Now, to the credit of the West, they haven't had no result yet.
Yeah, good for them. 100%. It was a required win for San Diego. They had to find a way to get one in there. To play back-to-back was also a tough break for them also. To have to lose and then have to really suit up a couple hours later, say, all right, how do we get back into the flow of things? That's always tough, and try to get yourself back for a second game in the same day. But I think when I look at Seattle, again, you mentioned it, this team they're very formulaic. They're going to have their opening batters get going early. It all really hinges on Ruben Clinton. They'll kind of recuperate for a couple overs in the middle with Ian Chown. And then from there, it's big hits. Whoever comes in, whether it's Rishabh Mohan, whether it's Shivam Sharma, you're coming in to hit the ball.
Yeah.
And so they've laid that plan out, and they execute it well.
They're routinely scoring 40 to 50 runs in the last 3 overs. It's ridiculous how they're just going nuts in the last 3 overs of the innings. And that's because they, like you said, they start well, they retain their wickets, and then they go big at the end, no matter who's in there, no matter who.
Well, it's a great formula. Speaking of back-to-backs, you saw more of that on Saturday night. Take us through it.
Well, the East Bay Blazers face the Golden State Grizzlies. This is a Northern California rivalry. Gowda gets some width from Dev Tadani, and he goes over the circle easily for 4. East Bay finished the power play at 37 without loss. Fast forward to the 14th, 1 down. Gowda brings up his 50 off of Raj Patel. Sanjay Krishnamurthy starts to accelerate in the 15th. Excellent stuff from him. We're used to it. Vatsal Vighela, though, already with a wicket of Ghani, early calls his number to get Gowda. Terrific catch by Sohan Bhatt. Golden State back in the game. Vishal Mohan, he's out for just 2 in the 17th. It's do or die now for Golden State Grizzly. They have to take wickets. But Sanjay Krishnamurthy is unstoppable lately. One of the hottest batters in the continent. You see him just pummeling Grizzlies bowling. He ends with 77 from 40, not out, and Paradkar is going to put the finishing touches on with a big 6 of his own. So they scored 57 off the final 25. Golden State never got going in the chase. Ramsarn's out there. Vikash Mohan also took 2 in the chase, bowling Kranthi Kumar. And we see Golden State petering out in the chase. So where we got now? We've got, yeah, you see this happening. Carmelo LaRue, look at this. Really tough stuff. So this is the second game, right?
Yeah, this is the second game here.
Okay,
you can
here
see
we go.
things moving on.
Yeah.
Again, playing that back-to-back is always tough. Yeah.
Yeah, that happens so quickly. But we got Golden State just falling apart in the first innings. Grizzlies middle and tail are disappointing, and they score only 28 runs from their final 48 balls. Early hope for the defense for Golden State as Vasu Vegahela strikes early, but bowling Gowda for 13. But it's Sanjay Krishnamurthy's day once again as he launches bat back over his head for 21 in the 5th over. And this one looked even bigger. Viraj Patel, very Boomer-like right here. Boom. Look at that. He gets Ghani in the 9th, and as Sanjay hits even Vasu Vegahela out of the ground in the 10th over. He's just unstoppable right now. Another 6, this time off of Viraj Patel. And Golden State, East Bay clinched the playoffs.
Yeah, Golden State unable to get themselves to 100, and East Bay was just too good for that. They were always going to win on that occasion. I look at East Bay, again, Sujit Gowda's in tremendous form. He didn't have a great innings, but 13 off 11, he scored 50s. And for Sanjay Krishnamurthy to be in as good of nick as he's in, Saideep Ganesh is a very promising youngster. And then their bowling lineup for me is very, very good. Rushil Agarkar is there, Abhishek Bardakar, Carmelo LaRue. So you have a very prolific pace attack, and then Sanjay Krishnamurthy comes in ball spin alongside Vikash Mohan. And then you have Aditya Ganesh, who can come in with the bat too in minor league cricket. So this is a team that's loaded all around.
We knew this East Bay team was going to be good. Sanjay in the team makes them really tough to beat.
Yeah, well, we saw one back-to-back. Nate, we didn't see quite a back-to-back, but one game on Sunday. Take us through it.
We got one on Sunday and another on Monday. And the Thunderbolts are facing Los Angeles Lashings here. Motwani makes a great stop. And watch this throw to get the run out. Boom! Look at that. Oh, that was a great, he received that so well. Clinton caps, next shot. Clinton caps a 19-run 4th over with this boundary 4 through extra cover, threading the needle. Very beautiful shot right there. We got Coley with a 4 of his own right here. And just, it looks like Seattle's just doing a typical Seattle thing right here.
They got their formula here. They're firing
Ruben Clinton
up
again. Yeah, exactly. Ruben Clinton just keeps going. The lefty-righty partnership works real well. But on Jane hopes to stop the bleeding in the 10th. He ends Coley's day with a catch. And then we got Rapt strikes on the next ball. Bowls Clinton, who is out for 58. Nayak is going to be, so here we go. Nayak right here off of Elmore. He's caught. That's a great run and catch right there in the 15th over. Hutchinson is going to LBW Chineni here in the 19th, right when Seattle loved to accelerate the most. We get another 6 here in the final over. And Seattle trying to be aggressive, easily run out. We see a lot of run outs in the last over. That's okay. You got to be aggressive when you have wickets in hand. Rashad Mohan decides he's going to launch a 6, and Seattle end 173 for 7. Boom, right there. And so they're finally out right there. But yeah, 173 for 7. So in the chase, Harkaran Gujral, he has been amazing this season. He scores big when he scores, and he goes 6 to deep extra cover. Mansingh strikes, taking out Kalacharan. Lashings in the power play 31 for 1. Harpreet Singh's bowled after scoring a 6, and Gujral, shortly afterwards, he takes on Mansingh here in the 11th with a big straight hit from Gujral. Gujral's 62-run innings is going to end here after 53 balls. And you can hardly see it, but he was caught. Elmore now comes in. He hits a massive 6. Lashings need 12 and over in their final 4, and Elmore Hutchinson shows why he's a legend. Corey Chetty comes in. He scores a 4, or he's been in a while. He's got 37 from 28 to get LA close. But Dunshak takes his wicket the very next ball. Elmore still in the middle, though. Anything can happen. We've got a little bit of a run out here. You're desperate to get the big man back on strike, so you get run out at the non-striker end. Not the biggest thing ever. Hutchinson's skies out right here. They need 12 to win. They fall 11 runs shy. But what a great game. Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic indeed. That was to do Sunday, and again, things just got real close in there, and Seattle just kind of did what they did best, held their nerve throughout the innings.
I tell you what, the Lashings are always close. They're always right there.
Yeah, they are. They got another chance at Seattle on Monday. Nate, take you through that.
All right, the rematch on Monday between the two teams. Kalicharin starting things off, playing skillfully against Nayek. Late shot for 4 runs. And beautiful shot right there. Gujral again with a good start. He's 6 here. The power play ends for 49 runs without loss. Gujral once more. Let's just fill it up with Gujral highlights. He's a freaking amazing sometimes. And then a 6 again off of Mansing, he's been taking wickets all year. Kalicharin, he gangs up on Mansing. He goes for a shocker. He goes for 18th in the 14th over. He goes for 18. Gujral isn't done. He smashes Sharma down the ground, and he ends 70 from 50. He gets out on the next ball. But Gujral is finally out. Harpreet Singh is stumped by Chauhan. Sharma has 2 in the over. Cody Chetty starts things off in a hurry with a 4 off of Sharma, and Chetty continues to score quickly. I like to see that from Chetty this weekend. No reason to take your foot off the gas right now. And well played by Kalicharin. He's finding the gaps, tremendous effort. At the boundary right there, saves 2 runs. Look at that play. That's amazing. Excellent stuff. That's Ruben Clinton for you right there. Boundary rider supreme. Kalicharin pulls Asif out the wall. And here you go. You can see this effort. Boom, they can't quite stop it. Kalicharin ends 69 from 52 not out, and Chetty 32 from 17 not out. Ruben Clinton gets lucky right here, nearly plays it on his own stumps. And Clinton with an excellent 6 to long off. He's had a great season. He had a little bit of a rough start to the weekend, but boom, he's picking it up here. He gets lucky again, edges over the keeper. Hajizada, man, he wants that wicket. Chauhan, not so lucky. Hajizada finally gets with his wicket. And Clinton pummels Reyna on the next ball for 6. After a 52-run Seattle power play, Clinton is caught by Elmore Hutchinson. Watch this. Boom. Juggle, catch. Oh, great catch by Elmore. We love Elmore. Long off, long on. We love him deep. And then Nyack, 14th over. Seattle now 111 for 4. And Nyack is just going. But 20 makes a great catch to get Atif right here. Look at this. Boom. Oh, that's not the greatest catch. Regular kind of catch. Regular kind of.
Catches are catches. Catches win matches.
Catches win matches. But there you go. That's the catch I was talking about. That's the one. And Hajizada bowls Nama. He comes across his stumps, plays it right onto his own stumps. Naik is the last hope here. He hits a huge 6. Seattle still need 32 in their last 12 balls. A really big ask. Elmore gets Nayak caught behind and feather edge right there. They'd be bowled out for 157. Seattle lose by 16. Valiant effort. Nayak finishing 51 from 33.
Yeah, I mean, terrific there for Los Angeles Lashings. End their season on a high. Seattle still reined in, but they're going to qualify for the playoffs anyway. So we have a little question in the chat here from our man Z from 1709 Cricket.
Z.
He said, of the teams that have secured playoff spots already, whose bowling attack do you like the most? I'm going to let you start, and I'm going to finish it here.
Whose bowling attack do I like the most? I got to start?
Do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay, I got two answers. I like Chicago's bowling attack, Chicago Kingsmen, with Z Ul Haq. I think their opening bowling is terrific. Ul Haq, you have Ihsan Adil, and then Hamad Azam, and Tajinder Singh comes inside Ali. They have a lot of good part-time spinners to come in there. And then what I like Baltimore's bowling attack, right?
Yeah.
Sarbjeet Singh Ladda, you have Jerome Davis. I think Jaskran Batur has been great. Muhammad Alam, I really enjoy. I'm curious to see them in Grand Prairie on that surface because they've been playing in spin-conducive conditions. So for me, those two, I feel the conditions will suit Chicago more than might suit Baltimore.
Yeah, Jaskaran, man, I love watching that guy bowl. I think East Bay's got a great bowling attack. We haven't even seen their stars really have, take tons of wickets. Everyone's taking wickets on that team, but Carmine LaRue hasn't taken a lot of wickets, but he's impossible to hit.
Well, talking about great players and stars, let's go ahead and jump into our great players and stars. We talk about the great players that have come and gone and the great players that are starting to make their way in. So let's jump in with the emerging player of the week. And with our emerging player of the week, we see it right there. Our emerging player of the week is going to be none other than Pranav Chetapaliyam. for what he did against the Philadelphians.
This was really hard because we liked Adam Kahn's weekend, but beating a team as good as the Philadelphians when it mattered so much to the Philadelphians, Pranav Chattopadhyay, I think he has to take the award this week.
Yeah, let's move now on to the Atlantic Player of the Week. We had a couple of deliberations, but there was clearly an answer here. It was going to be Stephen Taylor for his 200s that he did play.
Yeah, we had Hamraj in the equation, but 200s is better than one.
Yeah, 200 is better than one. All right, good. Congratulations, Stephen Taylor. Now moving into the Pacific. Again, this one might have been a little bit closer. Shubham Ranjane had a Pfeiffer, but it goes into who used to just win the Emerging Player of the Week pretty consistently. It goes to our very own Sanjay Krishnamurthy for the 2 innings he did play.
He's been phenomenal all summer since Major League. He just keeps his foot on the gas. He's been fantastic.
All right, well, I kind of was early in getting to our players of the week. Let's jump into our top 10 plays of the week now. So let's look at what we have as our top 10 plays. Plenty of great moments. We'll start off here with a tremendous boundary catch from Paul Palmer for the Atlanta Fire. I mean, this was terrific. Really well done out on the rope. Great stuff to dive back in. Now let's move into our number 9 play. As you see a high five there, it's Mario Loban, 4 for 10 for the New York City Titans against the Manhattan Yorkers, Nate.
Fully dominant. And look, he did these with as little help as possible. Wicketkeeper catches, bowled, or caught and bowled. It just the perfect results.
Yeah, he was brilliant. There's that caught and bowled. Moving on to number 8, Adam Kahn took 7 wickets this weekend, and then that one-handed snag reaching out to his right. He sent me that clip on Instagram. Had to put him on there. Now on to number 7 is going to be Sujit Nayak's 84 off 46. He also took 2 wickets in this game for Seattle against the San Diego Surf Riders. I mean, just monster 6 after monster 6. Speaking of 6, let's go to number 6. Faraz Ali, 66 off 45, and then 86 off 57 against the Michigan Cricket Stars. He was terrific alongside Tajinder Singh, and just again, shot after shot. And this probably the shot coming up, probably my favorite shot that he played. Beautiful big over cow corner. Love to see a lefty playing that. Speaking of lefties, Pranav Chattopadhyay here at number 5, his 87 off 59 against the Philadelphians. How good was he, Nate?
Oh my God, he was amazing. Well, we talked about him a lot. He was the Emerging Player of the Week.
Yeah, and for good reason. Moving on to number 4, let's go to our Pacific Player of the Week, Sanjay Krishnamurthy, 77 off 40, and then 54 from 29. Both of those against Golden State. Terrific, Nate.
Just phenomenal. He's a superstar.
Well, here's the guy he nearly lost the Pacific Player of the Week to. Shubham Ranjane, he took 5 wickets, and I mean, it was just, you talk about as little help as possible, kind of a little help, and then he was moving it around. So I talk about this Grand Prairie wicket. It's going to be interesting to see it come playoff time. LBWs, cut behinds. Again, we saw that LBW, and then the one skied up to deep third. I mean, just terrific.
Just moving it both directions. I don't know how anybody touches it when he hits his lane.
If you call him a bits and pieces cricketer, I want to be a bits and pieces cricketer. Let's go to number 2. You spoke of it, the 100 from Chandrapal Hemraj, 108 off of 63 against the New England Eagles, and a big bear hug at the end from Gajaswant Singh.
Yeah, you have to love this. This is such a good team. Look, you see how close they are. Look, that's my favorite shot right there. Just nice and easy and finding his gaps, and he does it. He makes it look so easy.
So easy indeed. Speaking of making it look easy, Stephen Taylor, 200s to his name. That's the first one, just a little nudge to get to it, and then he got the second one in better style. And the classic Stephen Taylor over extra cover. It's coming up here in a second, right there. Take a look at this over extra.
Boom.
That's how Stephen Taylor's going to get up to 100 against the Orlando Galaxy. Those are our top 10 plays. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope we did well on that. And we're coming up short on time, Nate. We're going to skip our games to watch next week because there aren't many that really have big implications.
We already talked about it.
Right, we've talked about those.
Yeah.
I want to spend a little bit of time talking about USA, though. USA cricket. They've been on a run that you haven't seen.
They've been absolutely fantastic. I don't remember a Cricket World Cup League 2 series that's gone as well as this last one with the bat.
Yeah, you see it. You've seen two losses amongst the last 8 games. And then with the bat in hand, you already mentioned how good they've been. The players, Saitesh Mukamala has been brilliant himself. Milind Kumar has jumped his way amongst the runs. And I mean, this has been great. Andres Krauss has a 76 average. Nash Kenjage becomes the second USA cricketer to get to 100 international wickets. How good is this USA team right now?
Just winning without losing a lot of wickets, just chasing big totals without losing a lot of wickets. Milind Kumar, number 3 in runs, and he's played 7 innings versus 11 of the 2 guys ahead of him. Incredible.
Well, yeah, absolutely incredible. And there you go. You see the players there on your screen. But guys, we've had so much fun tonight with you guys. We're running short on our time here. Nate, It was brilliant to be back here with you. Bobberby, thank you for everything you do. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us here today because we love doing this every week. We're halfway through it. We've got a couple weeks left. We'll be down in Dallas in a couple. Can't wait for that. See you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.